Breakfast and brilliant ideas, coffee and conversation, we're serving up that and much more at IBJ Media's events. Join us at an upcoming event and kickstart your day with fresh ideas and new connections. Check out our event lineup and register now at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. I'm Gary Dick. Less than 24 hours after Amazon Web Services announced plans to invest $15 billion to build data center campuses in Northwest Indiana, Hobart has confirmed that it is one of the sites for the investment. Mayor Josh Huddleston tells Inside Indiana Business the project will position the city as a regional leader in digital infrastructure.
We're very, industry heavy with steel and manufacturing. This adds another component to us. It diversifies our tax base, puts us in a position to have those next level jobs. The things that data centers and Amazon specifically going into communities and going into the school districts and training their next workforce and creating that next career path for some individuals was a huge, huge win for us.
Along I-69 in Fort Wayne, the framework for the city's newest sports and entertainment venue is rising and on schedule to open next spring. The 8,400-seat soccer stadium will be the Fort Wayne Football Club's home, and the money behind the project, Ruoff CEO Mark Music, says it will be more than a sports venue.
It's probably slightly oversized for what our day one needs look like for soccer, but what happens very quickly when you begin to look at something like this is that we're not getting into the soccer business, we're getting into the sports and entertainment business.
A historic property in downtown Evansville is on the market. The Hilliard Lyons Building, built in 1916 by Citizens National Bank, is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and is currently home to 50 one- and two-bedroom apartments. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Central Indiana is on the move, and the next big conversation is happening in Indianapolis. Join business and community leaders at Innovate Central Indiana, a powerful morning of ideas, innovation, and insight. Join us at the Westin in downtown Indy, December 11th. All part of our Innovate Indiana series presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita on Tuesday released the state's new Consumer Data Protection Bill of Rights.
Rokita said the document is intended to help Hoosiers understand and exercise their rights under the Indiana Consumer Data Protection Act before it takes effect in January. The new Bill of Rights outlines 15 protections for Indiana consumers, including rights to delete personal data held by companies, opt out of targeted advertising and data sales, and request a copy of their information in a portable format. The Republican Attorney General said companies must place a clearly marked privacy notice or data rights link in a prominent spot on their website, and once a request is filed, the companies will have 45 days from the date of the request to comply. Still, Rokita criticized exemptions in the law for nonprofits, utilities, banks, and entities covered by the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Rokita said he expects to make recommendations to lawmakers during the upcoming legislative session, but will begin enforcing the statute as written for now. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
AudioChuck LLC is facing a lawsuit from the creators of the Anatomy of Murder podcast, who accused the Indianapolis-based media company of shorting them millions of dollars in advertising revenue and failing to do enough to promote the show. Anatomy of Murder, which launched in 2020, is one of 20 podcasts in the company's network. The company's original and best-known podcast is Crime Junkie, which AudioChuck founder Ashley Flowers launched in 2017. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Do you want the real scoop on what's happening in Indiana business? Check out the IBJ podcast. I'm Mason King, and each week I sit down with people who make news in Indiana to get insights and perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. It's business, but you won't need an MBA. The guests run the gamut from CEOs, developers, and sports executives to artists and chefs and financial planners. If there's a theme, it's that everything has a cost. And success often depends on how you define profit and loss. So if you want to deepen your understanding of the people and projects shaping Indiana, give the IBJ Podcast a try. You can find it at ibjpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.